welcome to the Saltspring Island Saturday Farmers Market. This is Bruce Wood. He's the executive chef at the Rock Salt restaurant where we're going to be visiting later this evening for dinner, and he's going to show us around the market and let us know where he gets all his ingredients.
Thanks. One of the things I like the most about this is the sense of community, like all the people you get to know, you know. We've developed a really good relationship with one specific local farmer at the market, John Wilcox from Duck Creek Farm. People more and more are appreciating if you're willing to support local. The enlightened tourist says, well, I'm on Saltspring Island, I want to eat Saltspring Island, so what restaurant do I go to where I can eat Saltspring Island?
You know, just to live locally with your community, you know, is such a, you know, it seems to be such an incredible necessity these days, just with all the environmental, ecological, social implications of shipping your food across the world. And, you know.
I would have said yeah.
I'll see you tonight.
Basically, what I've been doing for 20 years is showing the crops that you could grow right where you are. So you can have a totally rounded out diet and grow all your own food where you are. It's just a matter of learning. Look at the fresh poppy. It hasn't dried down enough. There's no perforations in the top under that little umbrella-like thing. And that umbrella-like thing protects the seeds from getting wet. Because this, you know, if the seeds got wet, they might sprout. But if it's raining, the seeds are in there and they're not going to get wet. But you get a little bit of wind and the seeds will scatter. Wow. Look at all the seeds there. You're getting those seeds. Look at all the
poppy seed cake.
So many.
Oh wow, look at them. That's amazing.
I've never seen anyone do that.
That's basically the scoop on the sheer volume of seeds that plants produce. That's just one flower. Multiply that by all the flowers and scatter them all around. And you know, nature is so prolific. If you want to plant the seed and go, because it goes round and round and round, that's the nature of seeds. So normally you plant peas right in the ground, but you could do them in small pots and then transplant. So it's just a matter of taking the seed and pushing it down beneath. This is a little bit of potting soil with a little bit of vermiculite, and you just push the seed in a little bit and cover it up, just so that it's under the surface. And then all you have to do is water it. Water it once a day for probably a week, and then pea would come up, and then you could just scoop it out and put it in the ground.
So anyone can plant peas.
It's totally easy. If we didn't have any more seeds, well, we'd be stuck with the plants that we do have already that were started from seed. Like you'd still have some apple trees for a while and stuff like that, but we could start new plants from those without seeds. But basically, so much of our food crops come from plants that you grow from seed. So we would be without tomatoes, and we would be without all the grains and all the beans and all the lettuces and all the seed crops and all the carrots and all the beets and all on and on. We'd be pretty impoverished. I have about 4 different kinds of carrots in this garden, long rows, 200-foot rows of carrots, and they're a great crop for keeping in the ground over winter on the whole coast here, because as long as you have some mulch on them, they're very hardy and they just stay in the ground, and anytime you want to eat them, even if it's December or March, you can just come and pull one out. I was looking at this field and thinking, well, this could grow a lot of food. And it took me from 1981 until 2007 to realize that dream of turning this into more growing space. The beauty of the island is that you can go downtown. Ganges, our small town, but sometimes it feels like a downtown, and you can literally bump into hundreds of people that you know and that you can talk to and ask how they are with meaning. And you can't do that in too many places.
Especially this time of year, you saw all the onions and stuff at the market today. So we should be able to find enough local stuff to be sustainable. Tonight for a special, I didn't get around to doing the peppers because we were really busy today, but I did make more pesto. And so we're going to do wild salmon, because except for the prawns, which we're working on, we only use sustainable fish.
Okay.
So we only use line-caught fresh BC halibut, and we only use wild salmon.
Right.
So, which is getting harder and harder to find. As we overfish, so you got the ocean, right, in layers from top to bottom. So we fished out basically the top, probably half of the ocean. So now we're going towards the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
And they have what they call these big drag nets or scoop nets. And they basically just scoop out the bottom of the ocean. And so they want X fish, you know, Tegan fish. But in the middle of catching Tegan fish, they catch Bruce, Earl, Jono, Christina, and they throw half of it away.
Okay.
So all these fish that were formerly from the bottom that are a really, really, really important part of the ecosystem are getting overfished as well. And any major city will have a reputable fishmonger, and they will, you know, tell you where to buy fish and what fish to buy.
Okay.
The special we're going to do tonight is a pasta with pesto made with the basil that I picked up at the farm today, and fresh local garlic, and we're going to put on top of that wild BC salmon, which is grilled, a prawn skewer, and some cherry tomatoes, some local cherry tomatoes.
Wow.
So, and that'll all be on one, that'll be the one main course plate. I picked up some poblano peppers from Michael today at the market, but we got crazy this afternoon, so I'll do that tomorrow night. I'm going to stuff them with some feta cheese I got from David Woods.
Yeah.
So what made you start Saltspring Cheese?
I think it was really to try to find a way to survive on Salt Spring. I mean, Salt Spring is a nice place to live, but you've got to find a way to live, and cheese making seemed like as good an idea as any. I mean, it wasn't very much being done. We make 4 basic types, and then by adding different things and treating them different ways, we translate that maybe into 16 or 17 different products. Yeah, we sold our first piece of cheese 12 years ago, so it took us 6 years to figure it out. So, I mean, the challenges, I think, were the fact that nobody, you had to learn all from scratch. There was no way of getting trained, and 99% of what goes into cheese is milk. I mean, the other parts are really small. I mean, there's some bacterial cultures that come from Europe, and some of the things that decorate the cheese, you know, like the basil and the flowers, they're all grown locally here on Salt Spring. They're organically grown here. Most of our cheese goes to Vancouver, I would say, and we've probably got about 40 or 50 stores in Vancouver that we deliver to. Victoria, we do a fair bit of business with Victoria, and we're starting to ship outside of the province.
Thanks for having us.
Nice
All
to
right,
see you.
you too.
David Woods makes awesome cheese, like really good goat cheese, really good goat cheese. I want to know the provenance of my food. I want to know where my food comes from, and I don't necessarily want to buy it out of some huge factory. And one of the hugest reasons for me to buy local is to support the local economy, but also to get to know the people who produce your food.
You can taste the difference.
Sure, you can taste the love in it too. I always say, you know, I go to some restaurants and I'm not crazy because I just think that the person or whoever's in charge is not putting enough passion and love into it. They're cooking by numbers, and you gotta, it's hard, it's really, really hard, but you gotta constantly inspire your staff and drive your staff and yourself to be constantly looking for something new, and every plate that goes out has to be loved. Like every plate that goes out has to be finessed and loved.
Well, you can certainly feel that here at Rock Salt.
Thanks. That's nice.
Yeah,
I mean, we try, you know, and every cook cares.